Okay. Give the people a few moments to come on in. And then we're going to get to old business versus new business. So, this is an instruction. I'm going to find the instruction and then we'll move on from there. The instructions of Noble Drew Ali, the professional American, or the American professional, is to leave all old business as it is and to do all new business in your free national name. Okay? So we have to pick that apart. Right? So the question is, what is old business? Okay, we have to figure what is old business and what names are used in old business, because the instruction is in two parts: to leave all old business as it is and to do all new business in a free national name. So what names were we doing business in that weren't free national names? Right? We are to understand, according to the times, that this was dedicated to a group of people who were blacklisted and were operating in a debtor's capacity or a minor's capacity in business. Okay? So I figured out already what is the old name. So old business. He's talking about doing business. He's telling Moors to leave old business. So the old business is the personal. The old business is the social security number, debtor, personal name. Doing business with your first name first, instead of your title, your house and title first. This is the old business. The name that shows up that appears first takes on all liability. As Brandon, I'm one individual. As Davis L., I am one of the whole. Okay? So, looking. Right. And the new business is the passport number, creditor, professional name, which is the last name first. If you look at the social, I know that y'all can't see it intentionally, but utilize your own, right? So on the Social Security card, we see that it is first name first. All right, your Social Security card and your birth certificate as well. Well, I don't have to put that up here. Are first name first basis. First name first basis is not a professional standard. It is personal. And you don't mix personal with professional. All right? I must have missed it. Wow. Give me 1 second. We'll run it back. Because this is a very, very famous statement within this movement. And so I just want to make sure that I have the actual statement. I appreciate you all for being patient. I love you, brother. Okay, so I'm looking. Alright, let your good deeds outnumber your bad deeds. Let your credits outnumber your debits. And when you pass away, you won't have anything to worry about. Right. Don't name your children Ali. Right. So don't give your children. Don't identify. Okay. Don't give the children the high titles. Right. Wow. Right. And he tells you, I brought you your nationality, your religion, and your title, David Shell. So you've asked the state. He said, what do you want me to do, man? Kill you? Right. Right. I feel that, brother. Prepare my remedies if you're not careful, if you don't leave here right, one day some more is tried. I took okay. Yeah, the time. Okay, you see too much. I don't doubt that you were a prophet at all, brother. Not at all. I do not doubt. Man, the only thing that would surprise me is if Amor did right. I hear that. Oh, I hear that. Oh, I hear that. Drew Ali said that the Moor's watchdog is not a dog, but an elephant. It's the Republic. Your watchdog is the Republic. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, again, I know that it is here. I guess I should have definitely prepared a little better before I came to you all with this. But I was just, it was an inspiration. It came over me. One day the property is going back to the government. Right. Yeah, okay, I know where he said that at. Okay. Right. Our nationality in this government began with the parade. Our nationality in this government. So again, Drew Ali is linking us with this United States national government. Let me read this. This is important. It says Sister Whitehead L, known also as Sister Dove L, stated that Drew Ali said, this is not a social organization. It is a divine and national movement. By you being born here doesn't make you a citizen. By you being born here doesn't make you a citizen. Look what I have on. Now this was handed to me by the government. It represents the royal prince. So Drew Ali is saying that in his capacity, official capacity, he's the royal prince. Prince is principal, the leader. Okay? All right. Right? All these Moors fighting in court. Drew Ali said, don't try to deal out justice, for justice belongs to Allah and Allah alone. Allah is the state. Right? Don't go in there trying to fight. Give it to the state. All right, so well, I don't see it, which is rather odd. I will look deeper into that. I know that I've seen it before. And again, thank you all for being patient. So, leave all old business as it is, right? The African Americans, the Black Americans were operating in commerce as debtors, not as professionals. They did not have professional standing in business, and because of that, they were not able to bring it or receive their returns on investments, right? Because they're not able to make claim. And so Drew Ali is instructing the American citizens, but he's specifically telling the Moorish Americans, right? Because he's teaching the Moorish Americans how to be better citizens. He's telling them to stop doing business in your personal names or in your personal capacity. Why would he tell us that? Because doing business in your personal capacity, such as like a sole proprietorship, which is what the birth certificate estate is, right? You assume all liability as an individual. An individual by themselves, not a part of any party, group, right? So in order to do business professionally, particularly in those times, you would lead with your last name first. We see this with Drew Ali himself. He was born Thomas Drew. Yet we see him as Professor Thomas Drew, Dr. Drew, Prophet Drew, Noble Drew. There's always a professional title and then his last name and title. All right. And he was also teaching the Moorish Americans how to do business in the same manner. So Drew Ali, and mind you, right, it wasn't like Noble Drew Ali just knew this stuff by himself. He surrounded himself with other professionals, and they were working together, right? So we have, just as an example, okay, we have Edward Mealy. Edward Mealy is the estate. Okay? And they were learning how to write their names professionally. And so what they had begun to do is they would shorten the first name. The first name was never used. It was E. Meliel. And so the name that's spoken, again, is the last name first. Okay? You may also see this like this. I saw this at a podiatrist office. My son's podiatrist's name is Philip Brown. But at the office, the plaque said Dr. Brown, Philip W. And so we see that the last name was used professionally. Right? At school, you wouldn't call your teacher by their first name. In the homes, you don't call your parents or the elders by their first names. That is not professional. The children are called by their first names until they reach adulthood. And then they're telling the children, don't you call me by my first name, right? Anywho, this is how we do business in our free national name. So, let me show you. The old business is the sole proprietorship. The new business is the corporate body. It is the party. It is the LLC when it needs to be. It is the religious organization when it needs to be. It is everything it needs to be as a member of the house or of the state. Davis L. Davis L. is shown on the passport first. If y'all can see that. My last name is first on here, but first name is first on here. Okay? So the old business that we're being told to change is stop doing everything right personally and assuming personal liability. Like I said, the passport or the free national identity assumes liability on behalf of the state. This is your cloak that says, I come in the name of the state. Boom, now put it on me. Let me know what's on me. Okay, now that it's on me, I can take it off and give it to the state. And because I discharged my affairs properly, I am compensated equitably. Right? The state stands assured. The state. When you go into court, right, if you will, instead of saying, I've heard many people say, they don't wish to say that they are the name. They'll say something like, I am the living man or woman, or I am house of so-and-so, right? Again, I understand the concept, right? They don't wish to be the social security number name. They don't wish to be the straw, the debtor name. I myself would say something to the effect of, by the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I am statesman Davis L. That's how I would express myself on the record. What have I just done? I've just subrogated. I've removed all presumptions of me being a defendant, of me being the personal person, by merely stating for the record that I know where my authority is derived from, it's vested in me, and I'm acting on behalf of the principal, which is the state. Okay? Makes sense? It should make sense to you. Don't just take it from me. If it doesn't make sense, say something. Yeah. Right? So, What are the benefits? What are the benefits of doing all new business in your free national name? Now, mind you, hold on. I want to make this completely clear to the people, right? Whether you have the L or not, when you lead with your last name, that is the equitable title of nobility. Drew Ali said this is a universal philosophy. He said that this teaching, this economic teaching, is going to be applicable for everybody. All right? Not everybody has Al, Bay, or Ali. Those are just the Muslims. Okay? You have people, Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown. That is the title. That is the professional, official title. Is your last name first. So we're not going to get caught up in, in all honesty, had I realized this prior to, I could have done everything that I would have done personally and not have used my title of L, right? But I desire to use my title of L. And I have to get the title of L placed onto the Social Security card. Not necessarily, I don't have to do anything with this. I don't have to change anything with this. These are all U.S. state, these are all estate names. That's fine. But the name on the policy, has to match the name of the claimant. If you catch that. All right. So again, if I'd have never put the title of L on my passport, I would have still been fine. Okay? For everyone who's running up against the walls, trying to figure out what can they do to get their titles on their names because they weren't born with these titles, be patient. Be patient and know that in equity, right, equity considers done what ought to be done. So whether your title of L, Bay, Day, or Ali, or whatever the case may be, is not written, it is still expressed and implied. This is not to say do not get your titles, but understand that there is a mercy for you. I was not born with my title, right? I went to make sure that I have my title. But again, if I came to this information as anything other than a Muslim, right, and my name was Dr. Brown, I'd have been Dr. Davis in my professional capacity. When you say, hey, explain. Okay. The last name first when you're doing business treats of professional capacity. Your last name first gives authority. So when you do business with your last name first, that title of nobility, that authorization is expressed whether you have an L, a Bay, a Day, or none of the above. Because it is in the way the name is written, last name first. Not everybody's name is Davis L. Some people's names are just Davis. You know, there might not be, Blakely Bays. It just might be a Blakely. But there's still a mercy. When you lead with the last name, you are acting in your professional fiduciary capacity, as opposed to leading with your first name, showing a minor. You're doing business as a minor. What's your name, little boy? Brandon. You know, you're doing business. If you do business in your first name, you're assuming all liability. If you do business in your last name, which is your family name, meaning that it's a party of people, then the liability is limited. It extends throughout the family or the house. My house in this case is Pennsylvania. Okay. So again, or not again, but I myself personally was able to amend my title to my last name, to my surname. Drew, can you explain your reference to the names? Oh, okay. I just did that. Absolutely. Pardon, sir. Lost my train of thought. Drew Ali told us to rely heavily upon nationality. Nationality and citizenship. Your passport says that your nationality is USA. USA professionally just means America. The US also means America. All right? If you are operating with the Social Security personality, you are operating as a stateless citizen. If you are operating with the passport information, you are operating as a U.S. national citizen. That's the kick. That's the key right there. All right. And again, when you use your Social Security information, you're leading with your first name. When you use your passport or your national ID, right, then you're leading with your last name. If you look at your passport, right, so what makes this a passport card? Well, it's obvious. People say the word passport's on it, right? And it's a card, right? Right. So it also says nationality on this card, doesn't it? So that means that this is not just a passport card. This is also a nationality card. What else does the card say on there? It has my place of birth. So it's a birthright card. It says Pennsylvania, USA. I'm a citizen of Pennsylvania, so this is my citizenship card. This is my national citizenship identification. What else does it say? It says United States Department of State on it. So this is my United States Department of State card. This is Pennsylvania. This is my Pennsylvania card. Surname. This is my free national name card. Earlier, I went over the United States Department of Justice Criminal Resource Manual, 1508, Title 18, United States Code 1028, specifically mentioned identification in the United States, where it states that, specifically, Title 18 designates 3 special non-federal identification and gives them preferred treatment in the absence of a national identity card. if you start from here, Section 1028 of Title 18 designates 3 special non-federal documents and gives them preferred treatment. These 3 documents, in the absence of a national identity card, are the prime means by which an individual establishes his identity in the United States. These 3 documents are birth certificate, driver's license, and personal identification. Personal identification. First name first. Not professional, personal. So the U.S. Department of Justice says that in the absence of your professional ID, they'll accept personal information. But this is the highest identity, this is the highest information identification in the land. How can we tell? And again, I've made reference to this in the last, you could definitely catch it on the YouTube channel. So when we look at the I-9 form list of acceptable documents, right? List A, documents that establish both identity and employment authorization. Very first thing out there. U.S. passport, book, or card. And if you don't have anything listed in list A, then you're going to need a combination of B and C. The very first thing listed on list B is a driver's license. The second thing listed is a state ID. And then over here on list C, the very first thing listed, that's social security number. The birth certificate, the driver's license, the personal identification card, and the professional identification card all are created from the very same instrument. Bow. This is your ticket. You're supposed to cash your ticket in and then take your seat on the boat, on the ship, the citizenship, right? These are your unlimited debt. This is your security account. This is your insurance. This is your debit account. We're talking about accounting. This is your debit account. Well, your debit account must have a private account to match it. It must. This is how accounting works. You can't just have debits and you can't even have credits if you don't first have debits, because credits are just secured debits. So I pledged my debits. I pledged my personal estate. I gave the look. You see me now, right? I'm holding legal title. Legal title. That means this is all full liability. I pledged this shit to the state. I said, here, y'all take that legal title. I'll accept equitable title. And so I got my equitable title. I got my redeemed estate as credits. Secured debits are credits. So the Social Security entity is a person. Well, this is now a secured person. The Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secured in their persons and other things. So this is your secured person. Another word that can be used interchangeably with person when you're talking about more than one as a whole is party, right? I'm a Shia to Ali. I am party of Ali, congregation of Ali. So I'm a secured party because I'm a constituent member of the state. I'm a party member. And this is not a social club. This is a national organization, Pennsylvania. All right? So I pledged all of my debits and I got my equitable title. So now I control. I don't own flat outright. I control. So all the liability is off my shoulders. Everything is now on the state. And because I have a professional ID from the state, meaning that I am an employee of the state, and particularly a professional employee of the state, then I don't assume the liability. I don't assume it. The state does. I must perform in my fiduciary capacity, in my steward capacity. I must fulfill obligations in order to receive my compensation. Yeah, I work for the state. I'm a state agent. I'm an agent of my state. And I'm a double agent. How about that? Because I have the personal and the professional. I have the public and it went through the private and came out. Now I also have the republic. How am I a double agent? Because I stand as principal and as equitable owner, just not at the same time. You know, we don't want to collapse the trust, right? Right? This is the mechanism that is necessary in order to apply the information that we've all been learning and continue to learn in regards to the Secured Party Economic Security Program. Right? The Secure Party Creditor Economic Security Program, right, requires you to have authorization. You must be authorized in order to have passage. You must knock first. You must make yourself known, right? Running around just talking about, oh yeah, we're indigenous Americans, and making the claim verbally is one thing, but putting it on the record so that it is no longer doubtful or contradicting, that's a whole nother story. You know, brothers and sisters out here, they're making the appropriate claims, but they're not coming back to the state. Many people don't wish to deal with the state. No, I'm not in Philadelphia. I am on the other side of the map. I'm on the other side. We over here. We fell in Philly. We rose in Pittsburgh. Know that for sure. All right. The sun finally rose in the west. Fulfillment. All right. I am, in my studies, in my observation, I have been looking towards the use of 1099s. I know that Noble Drew Ali used the 1099. Here, let me show y'all just in case y'all didn't know. Just in case you didn't know. Where's it at? I know it's showing here. File for record, right? Oh, damn, it's small as shit, but all right. So if you look here, if you look at the R, the upside down R, right underneath, it says 1099 form. Form number 1099 is what it says. So Noble Drew Ali filed a 1099, right? And we're supposed to be doing the things that he's done in these economic times, right? So if Noble Drew Ali filed 1099s to handle his business, to handle his affairs, then we would be filing 1099s as well to handle our county fairs properly. If one does business in their free name, you mean create a business, do you register it? So once you get your passport, your business is already registered. The birth certificate was a sole proprietorship registry. And you have left the sole proprietorship individual and you have cashed it in, if you will, for an LLC or a corporation, etc., right, according to how you desire to utilize it. So your passport is already that registered agent in the field, in whatever field you desire to take. I hope that answers your question. Right. So your passport, let's think about this real quick. Professional. Nah. What office do you hold? What office do you hold? This is your professional title of office. Okay? Who knows what professional means? Who knows the etymology of the word professional? A professional. Greek, 2 words. First word, pro, meaning to go forward. Right? Pro means to put something out forward. All right? Professionals. Means to speak. And L means governor. Professional. All right. Now, the word professional or the word profession in Greek, all of this word prophet, prophet, or profess, or prophetess, prophet. Forward speaker of God, a professional announcer, or the principal announcer of God. Yeah, all businesses are going to have all caps, no matter what. All businesses, all right. We use businesses to do accounting. We use these names and these identities and whatnot so that we can make registered records of account. We use these passports, these identities, these entities, right, to do our business, and so we do them through the ens legis. All right, so the ens legis is always going to be the person, right? And a person, like I stated earlier, the Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their persons. And so the people are never persons. The people have persons. And when they secure their persons, they can have the secured account record, exchange of debits and credits. All right? So professional means profit. Profit. Profit is the Greek word that is broken up into two words, pro and fashion. And from profession, we get prophet. And then a prophet of Allah or a prophet of God is a profession. So you're a prophet. Are you for profit? Fucking right. Fucking right. I'm here for the contribution in the advancement of Pennsylvania and all surrounding areas. Absolutely. Prophet means to speak. Someone who's literally out here announcing. That's the principal. That's the leader. That's the chief. That's the commander. That's the general. That's the national representative. That's the authorized representative. That is someone of high title that has authority to speak. And then again, you're speaking for L, and L is the state. L is God. God is government operating department. So it's the governing, it's the spirit, mind, and body governing and operating. This is your department. And that's the state. Because the state and the statesman have the same character. Drew Ali said that money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and the nation. So he told us that the national standard reflects every man and every woman who stands up and represents their state. They are, in fact, representing their state. Okay. So you have the national character, quality, standard, authority of your state. And you have authority to speak because you are the Speaker of the House. With your passport, you are a Speaker of the House. Drew Ali teaches that there was but one issue that needed to be addressed in order for his people to become better citizens. You are the best. I learned a lot from you. Amazing. I appreciate it. Gratitude too. Drew Ali said that damn, I lost my train. Lost my train of thought. Profit, professional. Oh man. Oh man. Damn, I was trying to make a point too. Oh, get to it. Let me get to it. Hold on. Shit. Can't recall. Give it a moment or two. All right, so some statements that Noble Drew Ali makes. Yeah, I know it was Drew Ali said, but I can't remember what it was that I was about to say that he said. And I'm trying my best to pull on it. Drew Ali teaches. There we go. Boom. All right. So Drew Ali tells us, and yeah, even that's cool too. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. And his righteousness. And all these things shall be added. All right. So, Drew Ali says, seek ye, that's what it was. He said, there is but one issue. Okay, damn, I did all of that and you said it. I thank you so much. Right? Yeah, so Drew Ali said, there is but one issue that was needed for the Moorish Americans, right, to operate as better citizens. And he said that one issue was basically them getting into their national citizenship character, right? But he said this is what is meant by seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. He's saying that by getting here, the kingdom is within, mind you. So the state is inside of you, right? We know that man and Allah are one. So Allah alone guides the movement. It is the will of the people. The will of an organized people moves the movement, guides the movement, protects the movement when you have professional people leading the way. Right? So whatever, and again, Drew says that money doesn't make the man. It's free national standards and power that makes the man and the nation. So if Allah and man are one, and man and the nation are one, then Allah and the nation are one. So Allah is the nation, state. That's the state of mind. You've made a statement, state of mind, with this here. This is your professional statement. You are a professional, there you go. Prophet means professional contractor. Not an individual contractor, not an independent, but a professional contractor. You're contracting. You're exchanging information back and forth. You are contracting in debits and credits. So you're a professional contractor. Well, what does a professional contractor do? Whatever needs to be done. Jesus was a carpenter. He was a professional contractor. I forget who, Peter, I think Peter was a tent maker. Professional contractor. Solomon was a temple builder. Professional contractor. Builders. Builders. Meaning that we are creating for the benefit of others. We are taking what's there and we are drawing the benefit from it and then giving it back to the people. Right? Allah is in the heart. Man meets his maker in the chamber. Well, what's in the heart that's also in the chamber? Equity, commerce. Let me show you. Is anybody familiar with a balance sheet? As if you were doing accounting, right? So on your balance sheet, you have debits and you have credits. So debits to the left and credits to the right. And then you have the ledger. And in the ledger, the truth is in the middle of the ledger. So we have to pass through. All right. And so over here we have assets. And assets always equals the principal the liable party as well as the equitable party. So the liable owner and the equitable owner. Assets equals that, right? We have expenses. And we have revenue. Okay? So now what's this got to do with equity being in the heart? What are you talking about, right? Let me show you. Right, the T-chart. So we gonna stick man them. Just for time's sake, right? Okay? This is your T squared. Jesus got stabbed in the heart. The blood and the water. Purity and love. Water is purity, the blood. Love is blood, right? So the water and the blood, right? The principle and the equity flowed down, right? It discharged all debts. It cleared all the expenses. It compensated the principal, right, that took on the liability, and then it compensated equitably the owner, the fiduciary who did their duty, right? This is the beneficiary, right? And so now you have revenue, meaning that the debit has now become a credit. Jesus was stabbed in the heart. This is the heart of the matter, equity. Jesus means justice. Justice is at the top of the ledger. All right? What are some of the assets that we have? Shit. I have unlimited debits. I'm just plain rich. This is an unlimited debit asset. Now, how do I turn this debit into a credit? I have to secure it. This is the security on this side. All of your security is on this side of the ledger. If you pay attention, you will notice everything on the left side is property. And everything on this side are people. Persons are property. So there's a person on this side and there's a person on this side. They're the same person, but one is secured. So what I did, I took Brandon Eugene Davis L., who was in the public. I threw him in the private. And then he circled back around as Davis L. Brandon Eugene back out into the public. And so now it's all secure. The asset, the debit, it's now a secured asset. I get to receive. It's been revenued. Something has changed. There's been a transaction, an occurrence, where something of value on this side was now credited as value in another manner on the other side. Your Social Security is a debit. You pledged your debit to the state. This is the state. You pledged your debit to the state and you gave them a positional statement, your affidavit. You're telling them who you are and what you are. They redeemed They redeemed your debt and said, hey, you now can work with the full faith and credit of your estate in the name of your estate. We have now secured your debt and returned your asset back to you with limited liability. So at first I had all the liability legally, and now I have limited liability equitably. On this side, I was saying, hey, I got the property. I'm the property. I'm it. On this side, I'm saying, no, I'm the administrator thereof. Right? Debits always equal credits, and assets always equals the principal plus the equity. All right? All right? Or the principal minus the equity lets you know what assets are still available. Right? Frontwards, backwards, however, right? Debits always equal credits. Assets always equals principal, liability and equity. Everybody over here is living persons. Nothing over here is a living person. But both of these persons, there's two persons. There are two personalities. And again, one has your name, first name first. One has your name, last name first. This is personal. This is professional. This is your debt. This is your credit. So now that I've pledged this asset, right? Now that I pledged this to the state, I don't use it anymore. I was given something else to use. So again, I'm not going to be doing anything with liability over here. I do everything. Again, Jurali said, leave all old business as it is and do all new business in your free national name. Because that's how you're acting as the creditor. Okay? So again, for those of you who are not familiar with what Moorish Americans are supposed to be propagating, we do propagate the secure party creditor information. It was given to us. So one side, everything is owned individually. The other side is pulled in. Right, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Jurali told us not to do business as an individual. He literally says that, and then tells us to do business in the name of the MSTA Finance or in his name. This is a national trust document. He pulled all the gold and silver collateral in and securitized it. This is the gift instrument. This is the gift instrument. He created a person. A person in trust. And he nationalized that person. That person wasn't nationalized. He nationalized that person. Jurali was showing us how to be creditors, yo. Let me see. Liabilities are on the right. So, this is a liability, and this is a liability. This is a liability that it's an unsure risk, right? This is 50-50, and 50-50 is never good odds when you're dealing in liability. Here, you're removed from liability unless you act in dishonor. You are removed completely from. So this is a calculated risk and a potential beneficial liability. There's liability. Debits and credits are the same thing. So liabilities are liabilities. But you have good liability and bad liability, just like you have good debt, which is called credit, and you have bad credit, which is called debt. So do you need to resubmit? So I resubmitted the SS5 for two reasons. One, so that the Social Security card actually has my title on it, so that the legal title and the equitable title can match up, right? And as well, I had to change the race of my person from black to white. So I sent it in via mail with an affidavit. I had even wrote in, let me see. Yeah. Right, I did right on all of these and shit. I was going, man, you got any non shit, I don't know all of these. Oh, alright, whatever. Let me see anything not got a number on it. Shit. Alright, so I'll show you all a little bit. As a matter of fact, yeah. Okay, so this is the top of a SS5 form. Okay, and if you see, I wrote my, okay, this is my son's. Hold on. Let me use my own. All right, yeah, here we go. All right, regardless. Okay, so it says name on card. Name to be on card. So you see Davis Hell, and then it says full name at birth if other than above, right? And so I put that there. Now, mind you, this was just my practice sheet, right? And then as well, and then when we look at his here, right, we see the race, right? And so you'll see U.S. citizen, yes. Ethnicity. Are you Hispanic or Latino? No. Race. White. And then if you see, I actually wrote in North African. All right. I sent those out a day or so ago. So, you know, I may be informed to come in at some point and pick the stuff up or whatever the case may be. But I put it out there. Okay, and then the reason why I marked white is because, again, on the ethnicity and race form, it's called the SF-181 form. It lists white as a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. You can see that. As opposed to African American. And so I marked white in order to redeem my estate. because I understand what that white means, creditor of the nation. That's what it means. It's not about your complexion at all. Which again is why I've come to start wearing white all the time, most of the time. So this side is black, and I have to make this side white in order for it to match up on the white side on this side. All right, and that's how you reclaim your estate, correct your status. That's how you do that. So I don't think that it's necessary. I don't know. But let me read the question because this will be on YouTube too. So do you resubmit the SF 181 also? Who do you send it to? I don't know if it needs to be resubmitted. I do know that whenever you fill out a job application, the SF 181, that information is there where it asks you what your race or ethnicity is. And so if you're using your passport and your passport has been secured through a white estate, then when you mark white, it's going to register as such internally. I'm no longer, I understand, understood. But if you have your passport, you are employed. Just saying. Professional. At all times. So yeah, the use of the Social Security name. Drew Ali said, leave all old business as it is. So he didn't tell you to get rid of your social. He didn't tell you to, as some people say, kill the straw, get rid of the straw. He didn't tell you to do any such thing. He told you to leave it be. Let it go inactive. Well, how does it go inactive? By you using your passport. You're now running up the credit instead of the debit. That's what it's meant by leave all old business as it is and do all new business in your free national name. I hope this has been helpful for you all, to you all. I always appreciate you all coming and joining the class, right? Participating and whatnot. As always, I'm your brother man, come to show you the way back to your own salvation. I am Pennsylvania statesman Davis L. presiding. You all take care. Most welcome.